Hey everybody, I'm Andy Smith. I'm a 30-year comic book veteran, having worked for Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Image Comics, Cross Generation, Ominous Press. You name it, I've probably worked for them. And I do other things art-wise outside of comics in the field of advertising. I've also written some books on drawing comics you might have seen. Drawing American manga superheroes, Drawing Dynamic Comics was my first book. And I also did the handy little How to Draw Superhero sketchbook where all you need is a pencil because you do all the work right inside the book. Enough about that. This is the Book Look series. The Book Look series is where I grab a book off my library. You can see the tons of books I have behind me. And I go through it page by page with you so you can see if it's a book that you might want to buy. I like to know what I want to buy before I buy it, and I feel this is a way to give you some insight into these books. So join me for today's book look. Thanks. Well, hello everybody, it's Andy Smith, 32-year veteran of the comic book industry with another book look. Cartoons, what is this, you say? This, my friends, is a magazine I discovered as a kid. This is the first issue I ever bought in 1980, September, October. That means I was 10 years old. And I loved cars. I loved drawing cars as a kid. And this magazine was just awesome. I'm not going to go through the magazines. That's not what the book look is about. I just want to show some of these magazines here that I got. I might go through one. Beautiful watercolors, way before computer coloring. Just great stuff. And I probably will go through one of these. Steve Austin, no, not Stone Cold Steve Austin, another one that drew, or maybe it was him and he gave up a career of drawing for wrestling. I don't know. But, and this was probably the last one I bought, August 1986, when I was 16. Cartoons has come back out, and there is, you know, a new magazine. There's a website. But let's just look at this first one that I bought real quick. Like I said, not the focus of today's book look, so I'm just going to go through this kind of quick. Crass and Bernie was a strip that Trosley did, and that would be, is it George? I'll find out. And this is where I kind of get my flair for, I love cartooning as well as, you know, the more superhero stuff that I do. These strips were fun. They, you know, only a few pages long. And then what was this? The Engine Hall of Fame 426 Hemi. Different things. You had people sending in art that they did. Here was a poster that I ripped out, and I believe the poster was the wraparound cover. That is long gone. All like levels of art in this thing. I mean, when I was a kid, I was like, wow, look at this stuff. But now I look at it and I'm like, man, this would be Cuda, my short-lived strip in Heavy Metal magazine that ran for 2 episodes, would probably work well. This is what I really like, though. Trosley was doing the how to draw in every one. Great exaggeration on the cars. This is Ron Harris is the artist. He has a couple things in here. Anybody here seen my old friend Erica? Cartoons presents the first of the winners in our Draw Corresponding Erica contest. So there you go, more fan art here. Drew Johnson. Could this be the Drew Johnson that works in comics? I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out. Sean Carey, Car Junkie. He's another one. Trosley and this guy, Sean Carey, were the ones I remember the most. And then you got some letters and stuff. And then what was this? Scramble Gamble. So it's just a nice little black and white magazine there. And then it ends with another strip of Crass and Bernie by Trosley. So, who is, to me, the standout artist in Cartoons Magazine. I mean, look at this wraparound cover the guy did. Or this wasn't actually Trosley, this was somebody else. But still, that is just beautiful watercolor. So that brings us to today's book look, which is How to Draw Cartoon Cars, Trosley. There you go. The guy that got me into this magazine because of his artwork put out this book. Let me just move these out of the way. Easy to follow step-by-step constructions. And it is Cartoon Cars. Yeah, George Trosley, obviously. He's got a website. Be curious to see if he works digital or not. Oh, I should reach out to this guy, see if he'd come on the YouTube channel. I might have to do that. This book was published in, drum roll please, Library of Congress, 2015 is when this book came out. Dedication. So about the artist. There's a nice picture of him. Part 1, card drawing basics. Man, just love it. Love the textures he gives. So, you know, even if you're doing just a side view like this, you know, nice motion to it. Really cool the way he does the smoke and stuff. Just the inking techniques. Puff up the rear fender. God, I hope that isn't Comic Sans font. That would be a shame. Comic Sans, the font you never want to use. Love this. That is just so cool. I have a Cartoons magazine that came out a couple years ago that has a blank cover on it. And I keep meaning to do a drawing of the Batmobile with Batman and stuff. This is cool. This is kind of like the real version here, and then exaggeration here. And it is. It's just the boxes and stuff, kind of like How to Draw Comics the Marvel way. Start with a nice, simple box. Here, of course, he's getting into dynamics and angles and such to really show the motion that you can get. A guy who went to school with, Joe Daniello, he loved cars, loved drawing cars, and went to the Kubert School with him, graduated, and he went and now is a director. Last I talked to him, which was a few years ago, he was a director on the TV show American Dad, and I believe he still is. So this is how you draw a tire normally, but there's no motion to that. It's just static. It's there. But then you lean it forward. And then, as he says, light it from below. That baby looks like it's moving. Wrapping the smoke around it or fire, different effects. Same with the car. It's parked. Now that car is moving. Good old 57 Chevy. How to Draw Attitude. Great perspective on this. Really gets it in your face. Love this. Curve like that. Big tires under there. You can really feel, you know, just this exaggeration. If you look at the G.I. Joe special #2 that Michael Golden did, you will get a great sense of movement and motion out of all the cars in there. Really reminds me of this stuff. I mean, who knows? Cartoons Magazine came out in the late 70s as well. Maybe Michael looked at it, picked something up from it. I don't know. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know. Old body cars, so just different types of cars and stuff here. It all comes down to the basic shapes. Standard, pretty, you know, nice, but no motion. Now this, with the tilts and stuff, the angles, nice motion. Model cars, obviously, are great for reference. I built a ton of those as a kid. Had to draw engines. Believe it or not, I did draw some engines as a kid, going off of this basic stuff, just because, you know, I thought it was really cool. Not necessarily sure if drawing frames is something you need to know, but that's cool. It's good to see how the frame connects underneath. Body graphics. Color a muscle car. Love the fact it's a 69 Dodge Coronet RT. With this drawing, photocopy it or draw your own. You're going to learn how to do it in full color with pencil markers and whatever you got. So that's cool. You can photocopy that or scan it in. But what I like is he's using traditional tools to color this. And when it's all said and done, not Photoshop, traditional tools, markers, colored pencil. So if you want to be able to sell an original, there you go. Now, of course, there's not a lot to forgive if you have to use whiteout in the ink stage, but really cool. Another one, had to color a hot rod. So just different coloring. Yeah, you know, he does go into how he did it, but I think it would have been nice to show pictures of the markers and pens he was using, pencils and stuff, just so people could look at it and go, oh, those are really expensive, or, oh, I could probably afford those. I like this colored pencil here. It looks real rough. By the finish, it's really blended nice and smooth. Custom paint. This is just cool to show the different type of rendering techniques. I remember this is where I learned how to do, I guess, to make a car look shiny. And this doesn't even have to be a car that's black. You could color this any color, and it would just show that it's a shiny car. And, you know, of course, the lighting and stuff. This side in shadow. Drawing tires in chrome. Let's get another exercise in getting movement into the tires. Different ways to indicate and draw chrome. Very cool. Little section on trucks. Buddy growing up. I grew up in a town where it was all about the cars in high school. Buddy of mine had a pretty sick-ass truck. He drove around. It was customized. It was really nice. Buddy of mine had a 69 Dodge Charger. A few Novas people were riding around in. My brother had a Plymouth Duster. I had a Chevy Monza that I spruced up the engine some. So to me, you know, I bought this book, not that I really needed it. And I got it, you know, when it came out. But I got it because of nostalgia purposes. This is really cool. This reminds me of Jeff Darrow, nice and open, no solid blacks, or what Scott Collins was doing on The Flash. Really nice and open. Unfortunately, a lot of people draw comics like this these days, and it just relies so much on the colorist. And I'm not a fan of that, because I look at that and I just think coloring book. I like it so your pages can hold up in black and white, like this. This works fine in black and white, and then if you color it, it works well. How to draw monster trucks. Off-roadies. I mean, there's not a huge difference. It's all the same stuff, basic shapes and stuff. But, you know, if you got this book for a kid or something, it's cool of how it's broken down into the chapters and stuff. Part 3, cars. This whole book is cars. What are you talking about? How to draw Corvettes. Oh, so now he's breaking down to specific types. Man, I love this style of Corvette. Stingray. The new Corvette, if you guys have looked, now we're going into car talk. The new Corvette, though, seriously, really looks like a Ferrari. Finally, Corvette's like, why isn't our car selling as well as those? Well, I don't know, make it look like them, and they finally did. But I love these. I mean, if they brought back a Vette that looked like that, I was never a fan of the fastback Mustangs. I like the coupes, but when Trosley draws them, oh yeah, in fact, here we go. Here's the coupe. Love the coupe. Love it. I love this right here. If I drew this, I would have kept it like that. Probably taken off the blower mount and the side pipes. I owned a Mustang that was like this. So look at this. He's getting into all the type of Mustangs. I had a 93 Mustang LX 5.0. And 55 Chevys. So now he's just breaking down the different types of cars, which is cool. 57 Chevy. Nice little side view there. And of course, some 3/4. You can just hear the sound of that. The rumbling of the motor. This dude's huge. You can't even fit in. His head sticking out. Camaro. If you like Camaros, ooh. Vega. Man, why wouldn't you draw a Monza? He's drawing a Vega. Vega was another car. It was a small Chevy that people used to boost out, slap a V8 in it. Deuce coupes. But once again, it's all just basic shape. Start with the basic shape and build the details from there. Lead sleds were the cars from the 50s that were just so heavy that you didn't need airbags, because if you got into a fender bender with another one of them, you probably wouldn't even feel it. You just be like, oh, any damage? Nope, just a little paint scratch. No dent. Muscle cars, love it. Is this a Challenger or a Cuda? It's not a GTO. Dodge Challenger. Oh yeah, my favorite muscle car. Oh, I got to say, 69 Camaro would be nice because, you know, year I was born. But and he does talk about the inking techniques and stuff. So there is a lot of valuable information here while you're reading it. Oh, no. Is this a Duster? Oh, no. GTX. I was going to say, did he draw a Duster? My brother would love that. Datsuns and Nissans. I mean, let's just ignore this chapter. When I saw guys drive around in Datsuns like this, all worked out, I just laughed at them. Get out of here. Now, Mercedes, nice. Not bad. You just feel the glossiness of that. Oh, Lamborghini. I love this Mercedes, that type. What do we got here? Porsche. Porsche. Is this a Porsche? What is this one he's doing? Oh, a 928S. Okay. Oh, yeah, I remember that type. I love this stage so much. Just a quick rough stage. I also have a book called How to Draw Hot Wheels Cars. If you guys would like to see a book look of that, let me know, and I can do that for you guys. Volkswagen. He gets into drawing dragsters. Now, I got to admit, I love drag racing, but I like these more than funny cars because they didn't really... I don't like the dragsters that much. The steel frame looking things, or not steel, but you know what I mean. I like this type of funny car where they didn't really exaggerate the shell, the body that much compared to some funny cars which are really long. These type did nothing for me. Dragsters, just, I don't know. Didn't do anything for me. Indy cars, never got into Indy racing. He doesn't even cover it that much, as you can tell. Additional books that may interest you. 101 Muscle Car Facts. That's kind of cool. Model kits. Show rods, Von Dutch, the art, the myth, the legend. I mean, there you go, 20 bucks. I mean, you can probably get it for cheaper. I'll, of course, link it in the description below for you guys so you can check it out. Trosley's Had to Draw Cartoon Cars. So glad that book came out. Relive my childhood. This is the last issue I bought. Let's look through the very last issue from August 1986. $1.50. Even in 1980, $1.50. 5 years later, price, or 6 years later, the price did not change. So that's cool. Look at this. Have it delivered to your door. 6 issues for $9. Never subscribed. Crass and Bernie. George Trosley, once again, told you, he's a regular. Nice storytelling, nice fun camera angles here. Alex Toth, great artist Alex Toth, did well, yeah, he did do a couple issues of Hot Wheels. There's an actual book out called One for the Road by Alex Toth, which features a lot of his strips featuring cars and stuff. I could do a book look on that if you guys want. Just let me know. The Other Side of Cartoons. So these are artists from Cartoons Magazine and the other things they do. George Trosley. So not just drawing cars and stuff. Bob Harden. This is really nice. Little activities, which I never did. Not that these magazines are in mint condition, but, you know. Mud Donna, Sean Carey. Doing some nice gray tones and stuff. Probably with markers, I would assume. Still nice movement, nice cartooning in these. Removing your center spread poster safely. I probably never did that. I probably just ripped it out. Oh, look at that. I still got my center spread. I'm a Cartoons Off-Road Rad. So, you know, back in the 80s, if you were a car guy, this was your version of like a Mad magazine. Right here. Very cool by Steve Austin here. Nice draw through. And then, of course, Trosley had to draw off-roadies. Yeah, I guess it was pretty much always up 3 pages. I was going to say 2. Be part of the team. I used to get Hot Rod magazine growing up as well. Kor-Drath. I believe that was another magazine if I remember right. Nice motion. Drawing a car. Don't have the wheels touching the ground. Just gives you more of a feeling of motion. More fan art sent in. Cartoons comparisons. Truck against the Corvette. Okay. Randy Richards. Just little contrast between the two. I believe the vet probably won. So there you go. Get some neat posters and stuff. Had to send away. No websites back then. So cartoons, there you go, guys. That's today's book look. Thank you for joining me. Links are in the description below for my website. Kor-Drath, The Reckoning is cruising along to 100,000. Once we reach 100,000, we will, of course, unlock the 4-page Bud Root Lilineth story stretch goal. So help us get there. Back the book today to get us to that magnificent number. And we'll add those 4 pages by Bud Root. Thank you for joining, as always, and I'll catch you guys next week. Like, subscribe, and share.